Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren and today we're gonna talk some tea. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining me this week. So I have a quick little DAVIDsTea haul. Yay! It's been a while since I've ordered from DAVIDsTea. But after the announcement that was made last week, I hopped online to scoop up some things that I have been waiting to order. So with the announcement that came, I wanted to make sure that I got some of my favorites before everyone else started ordering anything that they may want to stock up on. I have to say that this order is probably the fastest that I've ever received an order from DAVIDsTea. I ordered with them on Thursday afternoon and it got here on Saturday, which is crazy. And this box is probably the best condition I've ever gotten from DAVIDsTea. Most of the time I have like corners missing, like things, it looks like it's been attacked by a monster. So yeah, we will open that up and we will talk a little bit about what the news is in case you haven't heard. So for those of you that have not heard, and it's easy to have missed this news because there is just so much going on in the world, DAVIDsTea has announced they will be closing all of their US brick and mortar stores and 82 of their Canadian stores and moving primarily online. In total, they are closing 124 stores in North America. Personally, as someone who has never been close by to a DAVIDsTea, when I lived in North Carolina, there was nothing nearby. And the closest one to me now that I'm in Pennsylvania is over an hour away. And it's just not reasonable to think that I'm going to drive that far with a toddler and go into a small shop in the middle of a mall and purchase some tea. That's just not going to happen for me. So I am a online tea shopper. I think it's great to have that availability and ease of access to tea, even if you can't go into a store directly. So I completely understand the push to go in that direction, but I also understand why so many people are going to be very upset about the stores closing, because it is such a special thing to be able to go into the store, to smell the tea, to try the tea, to engage with the tea in person. It's definitely part of the experience of buying tea and learning about tea. So I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed DAVIDsTea fans out there. In addition to the fact that over the last 6 months, there's just been a lot of talk about how the quality of DAVIDsTea has gone downhill dramatically. As someone who has never been a super loyal purchaser of DAVIDsTea, I personally cannot attest to the quality of the tea since I just don't have the experience with it. If you do want to hear more about DAVIDsTea and people who are familiar with the quality of those teas, I would definitely highly recommend checking out Stephanie at Tea Leaf Project, Val at Val Decals, and Jan at Tea with Jan. They, all three of them, purchased DAVIDsTea quite a lot and have been doing it for probably over a decade. So they are very familiar with DAVIDsTea and what is to be expected of them as a company and what their product line is to be expected. So if you want to hear more about what their impression has been, I would definitely recommend checking out their channels. I'll link them all down below for you if you want to check those out. But yeah, this is big tea news in the tea world. So it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward. You know, maybe the quality that people have been concerned about will go back up now that they won't have the overhead of trying to keep stores going. I know that cannot be easy, particularly in the economic climate that we are all experiencing right now. And with the world moving in such a online shopping direction, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to not hold stock that can go bad after a certain amount of time, go stale, that they, it just might not make business sense for them to continue to have stores open. And since they are a Canadian company, there's obviously going to be more loyalty or name recognition in Canada versus in the US. You know, that doesn't mean that in the future they might not open up more stores in the US, but clearly it's not the best business choice for them. And if you are a fan of David's Tea, it'll still be available to you. You know, it just might not be available to you in the same way that it always has been. But they're not going away, and you know that's a good thing. I'm glad to see that they are just restructuring, and hopefully they will be able to get their feet underneath them and move forward and bring lots more good things our way. So with all of that said, now you are caught up. Let's open up this quick, tiny tea haul. All right, so first we have Pomegrateful. I love this tea. This was a tea that was featured in their advent calendar, and I am obsessed. It's definitely one of those teas that I like to sip on in the afternoon, and I believe I have a review of it on this channel, and I'll link that down below if I do. This is their throat coat, which is my favorite throat rescue tea. As someone who talks for a living, I definitely need to make sure that I have things on hand to bring relief to my throat from talking. So I love having a cup of their tea when I'm starting to feel sore throat coming on. Another bag of Pomegrateful. They were having a buy one, get one 50% off on their specialty tins. So I got another Pomegrateful. Can you figure out why I wanted to order tea? I got one of their cold 911s, which we used a lot of earlier this year because we were sick for most of January and February. So both my husband and I went through all of our cold remedy teas during that. Oh, got another one of Throat Rescue. Even though David's Tea is not going out of business, I wanted to be able to stock up on things that I really, really rely on, just in case, you know, supplies are not easily accessible. You know, you just never know. So I just wanted to be sure that I had what I needed until the next time I'm ready to purchase. This is, they had some of their tins available, so I grabbed one of their heart tins. I love the David's Tea tins. It's what I store most of my tea in. Someday I will give you guys a tea tour of my stash. I got a tin of Caribbean Crush, however you want to say it. And it looks like I got 2 mega tins, which is the first time that I've ever gotten a mega tin. So they are huge. Look at spin in my head. My husband is gonna be like, what is this? Oh my, these are huge. Oh my gosh, I love it. You know, there are some teas that I have enough of that this will be full. And I probably still have some extra. So exciting. Can't wait to fill those up. Okay, you guys, that is my mini David's tea haul. Leave a comment down below about your feelings about what's happening with the restructuring of the company, and if there are any David's Tea teas you want to snag up just in case you can't get them in the future. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.